At the end of the last book, Darren fell into a raging river and died. Of course, that didn't happen. The main character can't die because that would end the series.
Argo Funk Book Review. Argo Funk Book Review.
Darren barely manages to pull himself out of the river and crawl to some nearby woods. The wolves, from 2 books ago, find Darren, and they help nurse him back to health over the course of 40 to 50 pages. After about a week, Darren sees a vampire search party. The group includes Darren's friends, as well as the traitorous Kurta and his associates. Darren overhears their conversation. He learns that 2 days from now, Kurta will be made a vampire prince. Kurta will then destroy the Stone of Blood and lead the Vampaneze in a surprise attack against the vampires. I wasn't joking 2 reviews ago when I said wolves can share maps with each other using their psychic powers. This ability allows the wolves to lead Darren back to Vampire Mountain through some hidden tunnels. Darren goes to Seba for help, mainly because Seba's room is isolated from the others. He's the easiest person to reach without anyone else noticing. Seba and Darren interrupt Kurta's prince ceremony. A minor fight breaks out, and Darren openly accuses Kurta of being a traitor who brought an enemy army here. Kurta openly admits to these charges. A scouting party reveals the Vampaneze are in a long, narrow cave. It will be impossible for the vampires to attack them without incurring heavy losses. Darren thinks of a distraction. He floods the cave with the thousands of spiders from the last book. The Vampaneze panic, and that's when the vampires attack. Thanks to this plan, the number of vampire casualties is reduced by 80% or more. Most of the vampires enjoy the battle, but not Darren. He feels terrible when he kills a Vampaneze for the first time. Vanez loses an eye in the battle, and Ara is killed by the Vampaneze leader. Darren lets Madame Octa go free, and Kurta's trial begins. Kurta maintains that his plans weren't evil. They were a last-ditch effort to stop the Vampaneze Lord. The Vampaneze Lord was officially located 6 months ago with the help of a magic coffin. His name is... kept a secret. I'm guessing a future book will have a big cliffhanger when his true identity is revealed. Kurta is sentenced to death. Darren updates his diary, and there's a funeral for the dead. The vampire princes debate what to do with Darren. They want to reward him for saving the clan, but at the same time, they still want to punish him for not completing last book's trials of death. There's only one way for Darren to avoid the death penalty. They have to make him a vampire prince. Oh, so vampire leaders don't get punished for committing crimes. I guess vampires are more similar to humans than I thought. The end. Post-book follow-up. This is the shortest book of the trilogy, at around 160 pages. I saw one reviewer who insisted this trilogy should have been a single book. That's an intriguing possibility, but I doubt that would have happened. This book is fairly action-packed. It's not as action-packed as the previous one, though. It gets fairly serious in the final third, when Darren realizes how terrible war is, when characters die, and when Kurta makes his case so convincingly that Darren struggles to fully condemn the traitor. Those parts were deeper and more serious than I expected. I thought it was a good ending to the trilogy, and I liked the trilogy overall. The first book was the worst one of the trilogy, because it had so much exposition to get through. This book wasn't as good as the previous one. I thought it spent too much time with the wolves, but it was still good. I'm wondering what the next trilogy will be like. I give Cirque Du Freak number 6, The Vampire Prince, an 8 out of 10.